What if I told you the reason you accept the bare minimum is because you were conditioned in your childhood to accept the bare minimum? What if you accept the bare minimum because of somebody else's beliefs? It's actually not your fault why you accept the bare minimum, but it is your fault if you keep accepting the bare minimum and you allow those circumstances that happen in the past to shape your future. So listen to this video. This video is for you if you want to break out the habit of accepting the bare minimum. Sometimes we literally accept the bare minimum because that is what we have been conditioned to do, because we've been programmed that way since our childhood. So this is how we're going to stop accepting the bare minimum, and I'm going to tell you why you're accepting the bare minimum. So you are probably accepting the bare minimum because in your childhood somebody told you that you could not have more, that this is all that you can ever get, this is the ceiling of what you can achieve, this is all that you can do, and the things that other people have, the things that you see rich people have, is just unattainable and it's just out of reach. A lot of people are conditioned this way in their childhood, and that's why we see the statistics of certain things not being reached, because people are in an old program state. And the reason how you'll know if you have been conditioned to accept the bare minimum is if you are stagnant in life. Everything that you once had or you want in your life, and every time you go to start trying to achieve something, you don't achieve it. You either quit too soon, or you just give up, or you just start to believe, okay, maybe this isn't for me. Those are old subconscious beliefs. Those are old beliefs that you have to reprogram and recondition your mind to say, hey, you know what, I can do this, I can have better, I am able to have better. You're going to reprogram your mind by reaffirming yourself and giving yourself positive affirmations. Your mind is mostly made up of 80% of subconscious beliefs. So if you never attack your mind and fight back from the negative beliefs that you have, you're always going to be stuck in that pattern. And a lot of the times, like I said, most of the time when you have subconscious beliefs and you have been programmed that way since a child, there have probably been things that you have heard and you just accepted it as your reality. Sometimes we hear things and we accept that as our reality. That doesn't mean that you accept everything as your reality that you heard, but sometimes when you hear things over and over again and you see things, the thing is about your subconscious mind, when you hear something and then you see the circumstances and the reality around you, those things are not changing from others around you, your family, your friends, your peers, and they're pretty much stuck in that state, you start to believe that is for you too. But let me tell you, that is not. Okay, I am a prime example of that, and I will say, when I was younger, maybe I was about 14 or 15, I said, I'm gonna move to a big city, I'm gonna have a beautiful high rise. Like, I was just speaking all of these things that I wanted to do, and my granddad told me, he was like, you're not gonna be able to do that, you can't do that, those things are pretty much unattainable, whatever. So it honestly, in that moment, it made me down. It made me think like, dang, I'm not worthy. So I'm not worthy, or I'm not going to be able to attain. And when I got older, I started to realize that I wasn't obtaining certain things because I had been programmed. I had been told, oh, you can't do that, you can't have that, you're thinking too big, that's crazy, So you've probably been programmed like me. The reason you have been accepting the bare minimum is because you've been programmed, because you've been getting told no over and over again. When you get told no over and over again, that should be your key indicator to go harder and to just really believe in yourself. A lot of people say, oh, well, just believe in yourself, you'll do it. But it takes a little bit more than just believing in yourself. You really have to get the weeds out of your garden. Literally, you have to take the weeds out of your garden so you can actually plant better things in your garden, and you can allow the good things to grow. So that's really important, is, you know, when you're cleaning up your garden, when you're doing everything to beautify your landscape and your garden, and you see these little tiny weeds, and these weeds just keep popping up, that's literally how your subconscious mind is. Those weeds are going to continue to pop up. Those things are going to continue to grow, but what you have to do is you have to stop it. When you see a tiny little weed, oh, let me pull it up before it goes crazy, right? So that's how you have to train your mind. As soon as you have a negative thought that says, oh, I can't do this, where is that thought coming from? Is that a belief that you have, or is that a subconscious belief that has grown from years and years ago? And sometimes what happens is you have a subconscious belief from years and years ago, and then it just grows. It literally grows because we haven't pulled that weed up. We haven't actually stopped that weed from growing. So that is going to be your assignment, is stop the weeds from growing. Pick them out, pick them up, throw them out, and replace it with a better thought. That's the best thing that you can do, is replace the bad with something good. Every time you have a negative thought, you just say something positive, because that's what we want to focus on. We want to focus on the positive things that can, you know, that can grow from, you know, good things can happen even though bad things are happening at the same time, you know. So that is what we have to work on, is making sure that we are stopping the negative thoughts when they come. The bare minimum, back to the bare minimum, accepting the bare minimum. When you start believing in yourself, when you start achieving more, of course, people are going to make you think that you do not deserve what you have. And again, that is because they have been accustomed to accepting the bare minimum. When people have been accustomed and used to accepting the bare minimum, they want you to also believe that that is also going to be your reality as well. And most times they have been accustomed to accepting the bare minimum because they have been taught that way. So it is important for you to understand that that does not have to be your reality. That is not your reality, and you have to rebuke and you have to say, no, that is not for me. I will have what I am trying to obtain. So again, just reprogramming your mind. Even when people tell you something negative, you have to replace it with something positive. So if you have been accepting the bare minimum, this is why. This is one of the reasons why. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you leave me a comment. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. And I will be dropping videos every single day this month. That is my challenge, to drop videos every single day this month, because we are going to stop accepting the bare minimum. We are going to reprogram our subconscious mind. Thank you for watching. It's Yelani Elori, and make sure you are taking the time to elevate every single day. Believe in yourself and understand that what you want is possible. It is achievable. You can have it. Okay? Bye, y'all.